Hello, Rotarians. My name is John Skyville, District Governor 7730. I have the pleasure today of talking with Karen Shore. Karen is the Regional Development Director of the Salvation Army for North and South Carolina. And I was just going to let her help us understand a little bit more about the relief efforts going on for Hurricane Matthew. So first of all, Karen, what role do you play with the Salvation Army exactly in the relief efforts of Hurricane Matthew?
Thank you. I am a major gifts officer, so we are looking for those funds to support the disaster. 100% of any money that comes in for emergency services goes directly to those impacted areas. And we do not want to take away from our local commands and corps by any means, so we look for those funds outside of what's supporting the local operations.
Great. Karen, where is the most damage from the hurricane right now, do you see?
Well, it's interesting because you would think as the storm came up the coast that those that were hit right along the shoreline would be those most impacted, but that has not been the case. We are seeing cities such as Fayetteville and Lumberton and Smithfield and Kinston, those areas that are sitting along the rivers that have just crested really in the last couple of weeks, well beyond when the storm actually hit. And it's those floodwaters that are really wreaking havoc on those communities.
Yeah. How can Rotarians help?
Well, Rotarians are the best in stepping up immediately and wanting to know what action can be taken. Right now, funding is what is so critical as we are moving now from a relief mode into a recovery mode. And by all means, those funds will go a long, long way. As I said, 100% of what is given toward disaster services will go directly into those impacted areas. But on a local basis, Rotarians are very much in line with us, serving on our advisory boards in the local communities and stepping up to help out at Christmas. And we're right in the midst of our Christmas season now as we're arranging for those angel trees and the kettle fund drives in each community. And those are ways that Rotarians really do serve us well.
Yeah. And you're actually a Rotarian.
Yes, I am a proud
district
Rotarian.
Governor.
Past district governor.
In the Charlotte area. And
yes.
I think Rotary and the Salvation Army had a long-standing partnership. Just briefly tell us a little bit about how now that you're wearing both hats, if you will, how have you seen them work together?
It's an amazing partnership. With the Army is 151 years old this year. The Rotary Foundation is celebrating 100 years. Rotary International is well over 110 years or so. Long-standing organizations. And as I like to explain, the partnership between the two is just a force that I can't imagine any other partnership would offer, because you have the Salvation Army, whose mission is meeting human needs without discrimination. And then with Rotary International and our international theme this year, Rotary Serving Humanity, that is just an amazing partnership and coming together. And really what sets us off is the high integrity that we uphold through both organizations.
Perfect. That's very well said. A lot of Rotarians ask me, they're anxious to give, they want to make sure that the money goes directly to the victims.
Yes.
And how do you address that when they ask me that question?
It's very important as we see funds come in that are earmarked Hurricane Matthew or disaster services. You can be assured that those monies, as they are moving through, not the local commands, they're moving through division headquarters and territory headquarters, and then they are distributed right back out into those areas that are impacted the most.
Great. Last question, what is the biggest challenge that you see going forward?
Oh my goodness, the recovery. We know that is going to be years and years down the road of really rebuilding communities. In some of these more devastated areas, we have towns today that are still technically closed. Their residents are living in temporary shelters in other communities, and their infrastructures have been so demolished, it's going to be a matter of going back in in and rebuilding from the baseline up. And so that's going to take a long, long time, and that will take a lot of initiative in communities working together. So, just like the beauty of Rotary International, where it happens is at the grassroots level. And I believe that that's how we will rebuild these communities, is again, working together at the grassroots level.
Great. Well, on behalf of the entire District 7730, we are happy to give you this $25,000.
Thank you.
This is the initial relief effort. We have, our initiative is to look not just at the short term, but just like the Salvation Army, the recovery mode. Rotary is going to be undergoing various grants. We're going to be in this for the long haul to help all the Rotarians in our district, along with the Salvation Army. So
This is outstanding, thank you. And I will reflect upon these $25,000 Rotary dollars, as today we are surpassing 25,000 service hours that are conducted by our Salvation Army officers and employees. So this is quite remarkable. Thank you
Terrific.
so much.
thank you, Karen.